Hi everyone, Decent Eddie here. It's Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. I'm at 92% on all NBA games and 100% on my confident picks for the week so far. Will it stay there? I doubt it, but it sure does look cool. I had a 100% day yesterday going 10-0 on my moneyline picks. It's my third time doing it since I started doing this. I'm at 81% on my confident picks since January 8th at 178-41, and I'm at 69% on all games in that same time frame at 401 and 179 by the data. I'll continue to report on my data, but I'll also continue to offer the same disclaimer. At the end of the regular season, the black and white of raw data can't tell you about overall strategy that teams may employ to position themselves for the playoffs, and I highly recommend anyone who decides to wager money to read matchup news before finalizing any decision. My mission is to help beginners and those who've had some bad luck make safer picks. My picks are based on data, and I can give you my picks hours before tip-off so you can do your own research. Data alone can't read today's sports news, though. That's up to you. Also, keep in mind my picks are moneyline picks. If I offer commentary on the games, it might help with against the spread picks, but my data is not optimized for against the spread. I'll add that sometimes I'll make comments regarding against the spread specifically on specific teams for specific reasons. Make note of that or not. That's really up to you. We do have a lot of games to talk about again today. I am going to stick mostly to my quantitative data. There are other things to consider, and I'll say it again. Read the lineup news, injury reports, and read on competing teams' positions in their conference because playoff seed is a factor right now. The playoffs are right around the corner. It looks like it's going to be a very dynamic night. So let's go ahead and begin. Celtics versus Magic. This is a Decent Eddie confident pick for the Celtics with an 8.972 differential, indicating a 76% chance of winning for the Celtics. The Celtics are locked into a 2 seed, while the Magic are battling for the 7 seed and home court in the play-in round. Sportsbooks have Celtics as underdogs in the money line. Now, I'll put a dime on the money line for the purity of my data, but I personally might take what I'm seeing as a +7 for the Celtics on the spread since it's there, kind of, for insurance. 76ers versus Wizards, that's next. This is a suboptimal pick for the 76ers with a 5.543 differential showing a 68% chance of winning. The Wizards come into tonight with weak legs, playing for pride, and that's all they have. Lakers versus Mavericks. This is a danger pick for the Lakers with a 0.757 differential, suggesting a 54% chance of winning. The Lakers have weak legs tonight after weirdly playing Luka and LeBron last night when they might not have needed to. The Mavericks are clinging to a play-in spot, so do your research and gauge your risk tolerance before betting on this one. Hornets versus Raptors. The Hornets are on the road with weak legs. The Raptors receive a suboptimal nod with a 6.6 differential, indicating a 69% chance of winning at home. Heat versus Bulls. The Heat travel to Chicago, the best city on earth, to play the Bulls. Bulls get the danger pick with a 2.32 differential, translating to a 56% chance of winning. Both teams have weak legs, but the Bulls did rest a couple key players against the Cavaliers, suggesting that they might be gearing up for this very crucial game for both teams. It's going to be a tough one. Trailblazers versus Jazz. The Trailblazers have a danger pick with a 1.329 differential, indicating a 55% chance of winning. This matchup features a C- team versus a D+ team in the Decent Eddie grades. You can see my grades for all my teams on my socials. Nuggets versus Kings, and the Kings receive a danger pick at home with a 0.243 differential, suggesting a 54% chance of winning. The Nuggets just fired their coach, which could shift dynamics one way or the other, who knows. But one thing is consistent. The Kings seem to be in pretty consistently good form here lately. Spurs versus Warriors. The Warriors are favored with a suboptimal pick, 5.743 differential. That indicates a 68% chance of winning at home. Both teams have weak legs, but the Warriors need to keep winning for playoff positioning. In a sense, you could say the playoffs have already begun for the Warriors. They can't afford to lose any games if they want to keep their spot. Thunder versus Suns. This is a Decent Eddie confident pick for the Thunder with a 9.328 differential and a 77% chance of winning. Both teams do have weak legs, but the Thunder are performing exceptionally well, winning 8 of their last 10, walking backwards almost. Rockets versus Clippers. The Rockets get a danger pick with a 2.603 differential, translating to a 56% chance of winning. The Clippers are at home with weak legs. They did rest a couple players last night. The Rockets are showing as underdogs. Consider betting on them at plus 8.5 if you're me against the spread, just for insurance. My point is that my number says Rockets. Rockets are the underdog, and they're getting an 8.5 point, level of grace by the books. So when I say take that for insurance, what that means is my number says Rockets, their number says somebody else. So I'm probably going to take that 8.5 points on the spread for the Rockets on that. But I will also, for the purity of my data, do a little bit on the money line because the data is important. I mean, it's the benchmark, right? Anyway, all right, that's it. Quick recap by the quantitative data alone. My confident picks for tonight on the money line are Thunder and Celtics. Suboptimal money line picks, that's Warriors, Raptors, and 76ers. Danger money line picks, that's Rockets, Kings, Trailblazers, Bulls, and Lakers. 4 parlays. If I were to do a 2-leg parlay, it might be with the Celtics and Thunder money lines. That comes to about a 57% chance to win. I don't see anything in the money line matchups that would make me want to do a 3-leg parlay. I might consider that plus 8.5 against the spread with the Rockets as a 3-leg. If you include that, though, keep in mind the win probability drops to 32%. If you want to toss in a player prop, you're free to do it if you really need one, but I'd recommend looking for anything with American odds at negative 350 for safety, and even that's no guarantee. Don't forget, I never recommend more than a 3-leg parlay due to the risks of combined probabilities. All right, I'm at 81% on my confident picks since January 8th and 69% on all NBA games in the same time frame. It's the end of the season and things get weird. The question for me is, can I keep the numbers where I want them for the end of the season? That means above 65% on all NBA games and above 80% on my confident picks for the regular season on my first try with the NBA. Time will tell on that. Remember, this is for entertainment and accountability. I share my picks before the games, not after, for free. Always do research before placing any bets, no matter whose advice you're using. Take nothing on faith, and if you need help with a gambling problem, resources are in my channel description. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get my picks hours ahead of time. For more, head over to Decent Eddie Picks on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. You can also find me on X/Twitter at Decent Eddie Picks, spelled P-I-X. You'll see a deeper dive into my data. You'll be able to see my past picks because I keep them up there for you to look at. You'll also see my Decent Eddie grades for all the teams and if I have any last-minute thoughts before tip-off or even during the games. Let's see what happens tonight. This is Decent Eddie signing off. Have an awesome day.